A lot of big teams that you would expect to win ended up not winning. Unbeaten records were broken in this particular game week. And as a Liverpool fan, I'm really not enjoying it. Like, this is a very tough week. It is a week I want to forget very quickly. Like, I just want us to go tomorrow in the Champions League game, smash up a win while putting up a very decent performance. Then it becomes easier to forget what happened against Crystal Palace, because that was a very uninspiring one. And let me just give you the highlights of it. Man U, Chelsea, Liverpool lost. All of them lost in this game week. Spurs managed to squeeze out a draw. But the winners of this game week happens to be, when you talk about the big teams that got a win this game week is Man City and Arsenal. But the ultimate winners of this particular game week surely has to be Arsenal. And as we all know it, a game against Newcastle is always going to be tough, especially when you play it in St. James Park. Yeah, it is a very tough one. And the fact that Arsenal got the win today in that particular game, it's actually yesterday, not today. The fact that they got the win in the way they got it this season, it's so much about Liverpool running away with the league. We've all been saying it. This game week could have gone different ways. We could have come today being 8 points ahead of Arsenal. That could have been the case. Imagine Liverpool won and Arsenal lost. We could have maintained 8 points ahead of them. But then we did not win. We played on Saturday. We completely got outplayed by Crystal Palace. I'm not even kidding. We got outplayed by Crystal Palace. We lost that game in a very disappointing way. And Arsenal had to just win. Like, even getting a draw was unacceptable in that game. And they won it in a typical Liverpool way. Late winner. 90 plus 7. Yeah, I think 90 plus 7 or 90 plus 6. From their usual set piece, they backed the win. The celebration was wild. And honestly, I was watching that game hoping that Newcastle could get something out of it. But by the end of the day, this is where we are standing. Liverpool are 2 points ahead of Arsenal. And things are getting serious now. Things are getting super serious. So what comes next? We are still going to drop points. Arsenal already played a lot of big games. So the next couple of games they will be having in the Premier League are the games you would look at and say they are surely winning this. That's the case. But think about it, this weekend, Liverpool are going to face Chelsea. And we know that Chelsea is also struggling in one way or another. But when it comes to a clash between the big teams, you can never write any team off. So a very tough game is up against Liverpool. And seriously, after that type of uninspiring performance we put up in our previous game, it's about time we start winning games while also putting up decent performances. Because let's be honest with ourselves, for the most part of this season, I believe we've played about 7-8 games in all competition. We've managed to win almost all of them except that particular one, but the performance in each of those games have not been impressive. Yes, maybe you will see a game where we perform well in first half, perform badly in second half, but we've been getting away with it because we've been winning games. But now that we finally got that first loss, it's about time we go back to the drawing board and say, let's improve. Let there be improvement in what you are doing. So that improvement is something that needs to be seen. It needs to happen, and it needs to be effective immediately, because this season is going to be a very tight one in the English Premier League. Before the beginning of the season, we saw a lot of teams making serious moves in the market. A lot of teams were making serious moves. Even the lower mid-table teams, think about it. The promoted teams are also firing on all cylinders. Check Sunderland for an example. Who would have thought they would be that high in the table? Before Arsenal played, Sunderland was in the top 4. Even at this moment, I think maybe they are still somehow in the top 4. Just to tell you that something serious is happening, and you can't afford to lose games carelessly. So, as a Liverpool fan, like I said, I just want to forget the fact that we played that game. But yeah, it has happened. Now all focus has to be on our upcoming game in the Champions League, which is basically coming tomorrow, and we can't afford to lose that particular one. We need to win that one, and we also need to go ahead and win the weekend game against Chelsea. Although I've seen people saying that I would rather lose the Champions League game and get all 3 points against Chelsea. I understand. But based on the moves we've made in the transfer window, and based on everything that have been said going into this season, that Liverpool are favourite for this, favourite for that, I know we've not started clicking, but we can't afford to start sacrificing one game for another. Well, let's go and win in the Champions League. Let's also go and win in the weekend fixture. And another thing I need to say is the whole idea of let's overlook cup game and focus on Premier League. I'm not for that. We are in 4 competitions. Let's be serious in all 4 of them, because the boogeyman is coming. Our last cup game, League Cup game against Southampton was last week. We struggled to get a win there, but after getting that particular win, guess who we are playing next? Next month we are playing Crystal Palace in the next round of that same competition. That makes it the 3rd time we are facing Crystal Palace. In the Super Cup, they bullied us. Yes, although it ended with penalty, but they still won. Just this weekend, we played them. They bodied us again. I'm not going for 3 wins in 3 from them. I don't want to lose 3 games in a row against Crystal Palace. So, despite the fact that the big titles is the Champs and the Prems, if we are playing FA Cup today, even if we are playing against Grimsby, whoever we're playing against, I want us to get a win out of that game. Yes, we are not going to play the Salahs or the Van Dijks, but whoever gets into that pitch, who is that? Endo, Chiesa, whoever steps up has to play to win. That's it. I'm not sacrificing anything, because by the end of the season, you don't really know what is going to save you. By the end of the season, we may end up, I can't even say it, but we may end up missing out on the Champs or the Prems. Like I said, I'm not hearing it at all. I don't want to see it happen. But that's exactly why we need to be serious in all competitions. So that's it on this one. What happened last weekend in the Premier League? I hope it never happens again. For the sake of Liverpool, I hope it never happens again. And if you noticed, I'm not here alone. The little girl is here. She just had a warm bath and she's trying to get herself cleaned up. So that's it. Let's end it here so that I'll go and take good care of her. See you on the Champions League night. I may prepare a preview video for that. And as you all know, it's after each game, especially a game I watched, I try to put up a video about that. So if you're coming across this channel for the first time, your support is very much necessary. Subscribe to the channel, give us your like, do all the fancy things. It helps a lot.